Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you guys how to create try-catch in Java. I'm Diogo Veigas and watch until the end so you don't ever have exceptions in your code. First thing that I'm going to show you guys is that I'm going to use the Netbeans Ide 8.2. Of course there are always better options, but this is what I had on my computer, so that's what I'm going to use. Here in the file, new project, and we are going to select the Java application. In here in the project name, I'm going to put something like how to try catch. There you go. Finish project name, and here is going to be where we are going to start our logic. So first thing that I'm going to show you guys is how to assign an array, and here is going to be ages into, and here we are going to assign that is going to be an array ages equals to, and we are going to already put some values in it, which doesn't really matter, the values that you put in it. Then you are going to put here an int, and it's going to be the ID user inserted. It's going to be, as an example, the 8. And what we are going to try to do, it's simply receiving the age with the index of the ID user insert. We are not really asking the user for the ID because we want this to happen faster, you see?
Run.
And then we are going to south tab. This is going to put a system out print line automatically, and we are going to write the age of the ID user insert is, and then we are going to put here the ages array, and we are going to put this as an index, the user insert. And there we go. Now if we put like here the 2 and we run the program, here the age of the 2 is 4, and exactly that, the 0, 1 and 2. But if you put here the 9, what is going to happen? Let's try it out. There you go. Index out of bounds exception. So we got an exception because there's no index of 9 in this array, because there's only the maximum of 2. And this is the moment where you need to use a try-catch, and I'm going to explain you how the try-catch works. Firstly, there are 3 different blocks, with 2 of them being mandatory. The first one, which is a try, is where you try to run code that's giving you an exception. The catch, where you are going to create an object of the class exception and make something happen when an exception happens in the try. And lastly, which is not really necessary but it's good to use for better management of your code, the finally, which will happen either way an exception happens or not, which will simply be like putting a code down below, and I'm going to teach you guys how. Now we are going to put try, and we are going to catch it down here. And in the parameters of the catch, you need to put something like exception, and there you need to put the name of the variable, the object, which is going to be E or error. You can choose it. I'm going to put E, and then you're going to open it again, and we are going to start writing what happened if an exception occurs. We are going to simply say that there are no, the variable that we created previously, in the array. There are not 9 ages in the array. This makes sense because we inserted a 9 and there are not 9. There is not enough space in it. And of course, if we put here the 2 again, this is going to work properly and we actually still got the right message. Now in the case that you also want to try finally must be an L, exactly, finally. And in here you are going to write anything that you want to be shown, no matter it works or not. It should be something like south. Here I'm going to remove this len, which is going to be the line which will break instantly, but I removed it because I want to write everything up in the same line. And we are going to communicate the number of ages that exists in this array. There are, and we are going to put here the concatenation of the ages.length, which is the size of the array in this array. And after that we are going to use a for repetition blah blah blah, which will allow us to run the whole age array so that we don't get another error, right? And in here we are going to print. So we are going to south here, remove the line, and we are going to put ages, and we are going to specify the I, because the I is what's helping us to run through the whole array, and we are going to put a plus to do some concatenation, and here the comma and a space, so that it doesn't matter if there's an error or not. Okay, let me just put here this, and here, which is not an exception. The age of 2 is 4, okay? And there are 3 ages in this array, and them are being shown here. So if we put something like here, there we go, and we now put the 7, which will be an exception, will show us that there are not 7 edges in this array, and there are 3 edges in this array, with them being these ones. And lastly, I'm going to show you guys why the finally isn't really necessary. You can see that the message will be shown no matter there's an exception or not. But if I come here and put all this piece of code that was in the finally outside the finally, or even remove the finally, it doesn't matter, they're going to run it and it will be shown anyways. So the finally is going to only be useful if you want to have your code organized, and a lot of people are going to use this. So in this video you've learned how to use the try catch, where to put the stuff up. Probably the mistake you were committed was within the catch or within the try, I don't really know. So in this video it's everything. Hope you guys enjoyed and see you soon.